Today on SLEDHEAD 24/7. Ride along with Speedworks and backcountry athletes Rob Kincaid and David McClure as they dial in their supercharged M8000. Mac and Fish evaluate the Polaris 800 Pro RMK and the Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R. And UClear is changing the way we communicate while we ride. SLEDHEAD 24/7 starts now.
We've got the biggest, baddest snowmobiles money can buy from the OEMs, and we have talent, Fish.
Hi, this is Cody Cam, and you're watching SLEDHEAD 24/7.
Welcome to another episode of SLEDHEAD 24/7. I'm your host, Carly Applin, out putting on miles and evaluating. We're going to start the show off with a sled evaluation from Polaris. With the 800 Pro RMK being the lightest and the most flickable on the market, it can get you through anything you throw at it. Take a look.
Now it's time for the meat and potatoes, as I call it, Fish, because we've got the Polaris 800 Pro RMK, and this thing is truly bad to the bone.
You know what? This is probably my most favorite segment of the shows, is riding the mountain sleds. We're out in the mountains with them, and tell you what, in the upper Midwest, we've had some good snow. We've been able to go play with them there, too.
We're going to go find out what we can get into and hopefully what this can get us out of.
Polaris 800 Pro RMK. This is one of my more favorite snowmobiles to ride.
There's a reason why the best backcountry riders in the world use this. All the top racers that are winning on a circuit use this, and it's the same reason why you and I should use this. It's easy to ride. From beginner to mountain riding experts, this snowmobile will work for anybody.
What I'm hitting on right now is a smooth groomed trail. We're heading out to where we're going to ride, but there's always a lot of trail involved, and this thing has really been refined.
I think maybe they've listened to me because I said I wanted something that I do need to ride to the mountain. And then the off trail on this, of course, is fabulous. It's probably the most controllable sled on the market today.
It's all about instilling confidence. That's exactly what the Polaris Pro RMK does, and why it's a combination of the 800 clean fire engine, the Walker Evans shocks, coil over rear suspension, lightweight snowmobile.
The belt drive, it's their quick drive system. And what it is, it cuts down the weight for inertia weight. And inertia weight is a big deal, and you can definitely feel the difference, how much easier it is to flick with the belt drive.
You know, we're going out riding all day long. We leave in the morning, we come back at night. You got to be able to bring a lot of gear. Polaris offers from their accessories a Brandt rear bag, which comes in handy.
I do really like the new seat. It's a little wider, so when you are sitting down, it's a little more comfortable, but yet it's short. And a lot of people wonder, why do they put such a short seat on the mountain sleds? When you're jumping from side to side, you're getting tired, it gets real easy to catch your foot on the seat. But with this new seat, it's shorter, it's a lot easier to step over from when you're side hilling and wrong foot forward from side to side.
I really like the coil over rear suspension. Makes a huge difference on the trails getting to where I'm going. Combined with the Walker Evans shocks on the front, it really, really handles well.
Pro taper bars with the heated grips. The new running boards are incredible in this Polaris. What they've done is remove most of the material. I mean, it looks like just a Swiss cheese grater.
They're actually fairly sharp, and your boots stick to it, which you need when you're out jumping from side to side.
No snow buildup, no ice buildup. How many times in the past have you been kicking down here constantly trying to clean out your running boards?
You know, everything about this snowmobile, from the handlebars to the running boards to the front end, just screams, take me into the powder, climb the mountain, side hill, play in the trees.
For me personally, nothing exceeds like excess, and I need the 800 clean fire because this thing pulls so hard. There's no wavering. With the belt drive, it spools up quickly, and when you're in trouble and you're trying to pick an area through the trees and you don't have much time, you need instant throttle response, and that's exactly what this Polaris Pro RMK delivers.
Polaris has always had a great motor. This RMK with the clutching and the drive line and this motor, the throttle response is just fantastic. It's grab a handful and hang on.
Now head over to Polaris.com and download their Snow Trails app. Not only will it make your ride more enjoyable, but the trail maps include food and fuel stops along the way, plus a weather forecaster. More to come on SLEDHEAD 24/7. Don't go anywhere.
Still ahead, Mac and Fish evaluate the Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R, the most versatile and smoothest riding sled in the market. Speedworks tests their bolt-on supercharger kits and has the right athletes for the job. And find out why UClear is leading the way in how we communicate while we ride. SLEDHEAD 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Polaris, terrain domination. Ram, guts, glory, Ram. Fox, redefining ride dynamics. And by Stud Boy, traction with an attitude.
Welcome back to SLEDHEAD 24/7. I'm your host, Carly Applin. Earlier in the season, SLEDHEAD 24/7, Speedworks, Arctic, and other great sponsors did a sled build for backcountry athletes Rob Kincaid and David McClure. We caught up with Rob, Dave, and Speedworks for a supercharged backcountry test session in Montana. Check it out.
Hey guys, Jeremy from Speedworks here. If you guys remember the last time you guys saw these two badass sleds, they were in our shop. Well, now we're here showing you what they can do out here in the real world on the snow. And we're just out here putting things through the paces, shaking them down.
The superchargers are just working phenomenally. You know, I mean, there's a big difference between a supercharger and a stock sled out here. So the supercharger's the future. It's awesome. They're rocking.
And I showed up with a little surprise today. I kind of got a halfway built version of what we're going to be building for them next year. A newer, lighter, and more horsepower setup.
As you guys saw, you know, on the previous episode when we were building these things up, we just took a 2014 Arctic Cat M8 and we added a lot of horsepower, took a lot of weight away, and improved upon the suspension, added some durability parts, and sleds are awesome. They rip.
Well, when we first built these snowmobiles, I was a little bit apprehensive about all the things that we were doing to them, but everything that we used this year really seems to be working well.
It's a lot of work building these things. I mean, it took us like 5 days in the shop, 10-hour days to get these things ready to ride.
So as you can see, we're not at the shows talking about how these things work. We're out here on the snow. The weather conditions aren't the best today, but the snow's deep, and we're out here putting the product to the test. These things are working flawless. We're just doing a little fuel adjustment, so these things are spot on. When you buy one, they're ready to go.
Messing with some clutching stuff, trying to make sure everything's working as good as it possibly can.
Here, let me help you, bud.
Thanks. Just checking some sheave temps and belt temps, checking everything over. Looking Dave's clutches over, and like always, he's a little behind on his maintenance. His belt deflection was a little loose, but that's nothing to be expected. He's more of a pull and go type rider. Rob's stuff's normally in a lot better shape, a lot cleaner, a lot neater. Maintenance is kept on a lot better.
I got world champion drag racer Ron Gillen here working on my sleds. He's been pivotal in this supercharger program. You know, without Ron, I don't think we were going to get this program going, and man, we've made a big change in the last 2 years, and these sleds are ripping.
It's a smooth horsepower, so you don't know you're going that fast. Sometimes you're just like, wow, that happened so quick, but it's smooth and it's there. It's just raw grit.
I feel like the supercharger is kind of a game changer in the trees, because I can screw up more often in the trees, and you know, I can just get back into the throttle and it's instant. Right there I got the track speed, and I can get above that tree that I didn't know was there all of a sudden.
The supercharger seems to work really well for me because I love riding in the trees and the steep and deep, and I love the super technical lines, and I love the instant throttle response. It's really, really good to know that you're going to have power when you need it.
You know how a stalker's just instant throttle response? It's like that, but a little bit more throttle response and 220 horsepower full of it.
It works so well for my riding style, and it was so cool to be able to build this snowmobile and to have Speedworks and Arctic Cat jump in and all our cool sponsors this year. Couldn't have happened without them, and you know, we're just glad that everything's working.
You can go to your local Arctic Cat dealer or through Speedworks. You can buy one of these sleds ready to ride with all those supercharger, with all the suspension parts, the bumpers, everything, all the lightweight parts, ready to ride, ready to roll, ready to rip up the mountain.
We couldn't do it without these guys, and then they couldn't showcase this product without us either. So it's a match made in heaven.
For more information on Speedworks or to get to know Rob and Dave, head over to our website and check out the link at SLEDHEAD24-7.com. Now, time for a tech tip from K&N, the world's best air filters.
Hey, I'm Paul Mack, and it's time for a K&N tech tip. Our tech tip this week is going to be a pre-ride check. There's a few things that we have to do, and a lot of us don't do it, and it's going to make your ride a lot more enjoyable. Obviously, check your oil. Check your fuel. When you check your oil, pull the side panel off and make sure you don't have a bad belt. A bad belt meaning it's just starting to fray. Some of the ribs come off of it. You know your belt's good. I'm going to give a visual walk around on the snowmobile. Check the front end. Lift up a ski. Do I have a good carbide? I'm going to go to the back. Make sure that the track is good. Make sure it isn't loose. Shouldn't have an inch of deflection. Good to go. Get on it, rock it back and forth, break it free, start it up, warm it up, and you're going to be thanking yourself later when you're not fixing stuff out on the trail.
Still ahead, the Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R. Find out why we voted it best in class in the crossover segment. And UClear is changing the way you communicate while you ride. Stay tuned. SLEDHEAD 24/7 is brought to you by K&N, the world's best air filter. FXR, world-class outerwear. Arctic FX Graphics, make it yours. GoPro, be a hero. Michelob Golden Light, you're golden. And by Skidoo Snowmobiles.
Welcome back, sled fans. I'm your host, Carly Applin. Time now to evaluate a sled that was voted best in class in the crossover category. The Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R is the smoothest ride and the most versatile on the market. Here's why.
Today we're evaluating the Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R, and fish, this thing is just a riot to ride. There's a reason why we voted it our pick for sled of the year in crossover.
No, that's right, Macker. From the ski tips all the way back to the snow flap, this thing is fantastic. The trails are great, so we're running the groomed trails, and we got some good powder, as you can see, to play in.
This is exactly what this thing is made for, and I'll go check it out.
Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R. This thing is a very nice snowmobile.
This is the absolute perfection. I mean, if you're going to design something with a clean plate and say, I want the best on-trail capability, off-trail capability, one snowmobile that someone's going to buy and really go do it all, absolutely hands down, this is it.
I don't know who wouldn't like this snowmobile. This thing is great in the trails. You can off-trail with this machine with the track, the power this 800 has. It's really kind of a good, versatile sled.
This snowmobile is designed for anybody that goes groom trail, rough trail, off into the powder. You want to go carving through the trees. You want one snowmobile that does it all and does it absolutely flawlessly. That is the Polaris 800 Switchback Pro R.
I love that I feel I won with the machine. I can get my weight back here on it, get the transfer back, it just pops up.
Polaris feature lock and ride. You can take your saddlebags on and off. You can always take them back into a hotel. It's very easy. You have 3 mounting positions, one on the inside, one on the top, one on the bottom. Off. That easy. If you want to go in a hotel, you got all your gear inside here, plenty of room to bring stuff in. Polaris is always at the forefront with their accessories, and once again, they've done it with the lock and ride. The Polaris security system with the Pro Ride gauge You go to any dealer, they can program it in, and what it does, it gives the ability to start it, warm it up, and nobody can take it, nobody can steal it. Once you're in the house, you come back out, the machine is warm up the belt, warm up the track. You've punched in your code now, so the machine operates normally. It's a great feature to have, especially today when we came out, it was -10.
When I get on the machine, the ergos are very nice for me. They got the adventure seat on it, which is a little wider, and it's very comfortable.
This feeling that I have right now, the comfortable level of the bend in my knees, handlebar height, for me personally, is the best thing I've ridden this year.
I love the handlebars. It's nice and smooth and fluid. I mean, for ergonomics wise, nothing better. You feel no bump down in the inside, nothing on the outside. Riding on with one finger on the brake, you can just see it. It's just like it's made for this big mid I've got.
The Walker Evans shocks. The adjustability of these shocks are fantastic. So from the smallest rider to the largest rider, from the big bumps to the nice trails, you can just dial them in so simply.
The ProRide chassis with the Pro Steer skis, these are hands down the best ski made on a crossover snowmobile. We've evaluated everything, tested them all. We brought aftermarket skis in. There's no need to on this. These Pro Steer skis are phenomenal. The connection between rider weight and the maneuvering of the snowmobile. You sit back, give it gas, front end lightens up, just hang it out, come into corner, slide forward, plant the front end with a little brake. It carves so hard around the corners with this ProRide chassis. This thing is the absolute bomb.
This 800 engine rocks. This thing sets you back in your seat and it goes, but it still gets good fuel mileage and sips the oil, which is why they call it the clean fire. You know, all in all, this is a very versatile sled. I can enjoy going trail riding on this. I can go riding the big bumps, ditch bang with this sled, or I can go do some backcountry powder running. This sled really can do it all.
Absolutely, hands down, the most versatile snowmobile. If you're only going to buy one and you want one to do all of it, Polaris has made the machine for you.
To customize and build your own sled, head to Polaris.com. More to come. Stay tuned.
Up next, we test out a gadget called UClear, an efficient way to communicate while riding. SLEDHEAD 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Arctic Cat, share our passion. C&A Pro Skis, ride like a pro. Bully Dog, more power, more pull, more bully. Spy, see better, feel better. And by Speedworks, straight up USA horsepower.
Welcome back to SLEDHEAD 24/7. I'm your host, Carly Applin. UClear has been changing the way outdoor fanatics communicate. With a little device that mounts on your helmet and speakers and microphone that Velcro inside, this device will make your ride safer and more enjoyable. Take a look.
Smooth right-hander we got coming up here.
Thanks for the heads up.
I've got about a third of a tank.
No, I know, but what do you do?
I'd still be married if I had communication like this before.
I could even sing to you if you'd like me to sing to you.
You know, I usually do that to fish. I put the music on so I don't have to hear him, but it's a heck of a lot better with you. And it's a lot funner riding and more enjoyable. It's like having eyes in the back of my head and in front.
We're out riding, we're out testing, we're out evaluating. And I tell you what, Macker, we just found something that makes our lives a whole lot easier.
We certainly did, not just our lives, any outdoor enthusiast. Is called UClear.
This is the latest and greatest in technology. UClear has provided us with a chance where we can hear the other riders in our group, we can listen to music, you can make phone calls, anything that you want to do, you can do with UClear. The best in technology.
You know, Fish, in the past I've had a few different communicators over the years for the helmets, and these UClears seriously are hands and feet above all the rest. Right now, I'm getting absolutely no ambient noise at all except for your voice.
No, that's right. They're super clear. They're military quality. That means they're tough.
So once you link up your Bluetooth to your phone, you can take phone calls while you're riding. Hands on the throttle, on the brake, you just cruise along. When it beeps, just say hello, it answers the call. Pretty trick feature.
Hello? What's up?
It's those little things. If you just want to say something quickly, you don't have to make a big production of it. You can literally just talk to them through UClear.
Ah, nice straightaway.
Coming right behind you, Mac.
Check it out, nice little left-hander coming up here.
Kind of a blind spot coming over this hill, so gotta use caution.
We can link a bunch of units up together
and we can keep communication. Oncoming snowmobiles, groomers, stop signs, sharp corners, any kind of trail danger, it's a really good safety feature for us. It's so easy to put in. A couple little Velcro stickies and a little sticky mount. It's pretty remarkable how easy they are to install. And you know what's really neat about this is, you know, you and I, and we can link a bunch of units up together and we can keep communication.
It's fun to have you be able to communicate with me what's coming up ahead, the turns we're gonna have to take where there's blind spots.
Very nice for the lead person to be able to tell everybody else behind them that's carrying the U-Clear on their helmet, you're good to go, you know, if there's any kind of a hazard. Hold on, Carly, we got traffic coming here on the left, the right's clear. Yep, we're all clear, let's cross.
I was surprised at how clear it was. I mean, they call it U-Clear and that's what it is. You can hear perfectly when you're riding.
It's got noise canceling, so I don't really hear your engine noise at all.
No, I was surprised. It definitely makes it more enjoyable and definitely more safe.
If you want more information on the U-Clear, go to their website, uclear-digital.com.
Technology is great, isn't it? Having someone to talk to or listening to music while you ride makes U-Clear a pretty sweet product. So we're almost out of time for SLEDHEAD 24/7. We want to give a big thank you to our sponsors and a shout out to you, our fans, for watching. Make sure to check us out at SLEDHEAD24-7.com for the latest videos and send us your photos on Facebook and Instagram. I'm your host, Carly Applin. Thanks for watching.
Next week on SLEDHEAD 24/7, dial in your Fox Shocks with Arctic Cat and Fox Athletes. Fish and Mac evaluate the ZR7000 from Arctic Cat and find out what Polaris sleds are the best fit for you and your riding style. All that and more next week on SLEDHEAD 24/7.
Hey SLEDHEAD 24/7 fans, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube for the latest videos, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Who knows, you might just ride with us this season.